Hi, I'm Jemmy. Welcome to the Cajun Zydeco Scrubboard video. In this video, we're going to demonstrate some of my basic techniques that I've picked up, and we'll work on some variations to those techniques. And we'll have a chance to practice mixing all of the different ideas up to get some good variety of rhythmic expression. We'll be working for practice tunes with some different rhythms representing some of the more common rhythmic grooves of Cajun, Zydeco, and blues music. And before we do that, though, just a word or two about some background on this instrument. For many, many years, for quite a long time actually, people have used the old-time washboard as rhythmic accompaniment to various different forms of mostly country music. And in more recent times, some Creole people down in Louisiana have transformed that idea into this instrument you see here, a wearable sheet metal monster. And at that point, the Scrubboard was born, and some of its advantages, aside from the wearability of it, are that the newly reinvented Scrubboard could at that point really hold its own in terms of volume and power with loud instruments like accordions, and even in the context of a full-out electric band, this instrument can really hold its own. Now, just a word or two about rhythm. We're not going to get any more technical than absolutely necessary here. We don't want to get too involved, but we do need a basic language that we can use to convey some of these basic concepts of rhythm, so we can work on this together. And we'll keep it real simple and short. In the words of the old blues song, I'm not the music professor, but the music professor's son, but I'll try and teach you some rhythm till the music professor comes. The most crucial elements of the rhythm that we'll be dealing with are the downbeat and the backbeat. We'll look at different ways of accenting those components and the relationships between those components. And it will be necessary, of course, to be able to identify these parts of the musical structure. In most country music, the downbeat is found on the numbers when you're counting out the beat, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all downbeats in a 4/4 time signature, which technically means there's 4 beats to a measure and a quarter note gets 1 beat. We're not going to worry about that too much, but those are the downbeats. The backbeat comes in opposition to the downbeats and is found in between the downbeats, as in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, in which the downbeat is on the numbers and the ands represent the backbeat. Sometimes people will consider the backbeat as occurring on the 2 and 4 and the downbeat as the 1 and the 3. And I mention that just so you'll know what they're talking about if somebody speaks that way to you. But for our purposes, the numbers are the downbeat, the and in the middle represents the backbeat. Now, if you were listening to a band and trying to identify the downbeat and the backbeat, you'd look for the downbeat first probably with the bass, the string bass or the electric bass, the kick or bass drum in the drum kit. These elements are generally holding down the downbeat, so listen for that. You might also hear some downbeat out of a guitar bass line or something like that. The backbeat can often be found being held by the snare drum in the drum kit. Also, sometimes the hi-hat cymbal. Also, sometimes you get a backbeat strum on a guitar, mandolin, banjo, what have you. We'll practice identifying these rhythmic components as soon as we get around to firing up our musical accompaniment, which we will do after we learn a few basics on the Scrubboard. Now's the time to pick up your Scrubboard beaters. I'm using these combination bottle opener, can opener tools that you can get very reasonably, I find, at most paint stores. And then I've just wrapped the handle with a little bit of 1/4-inch ID automotive fuel line. Also very cheap and easily available. Makes it a little more comfortable to play. So let's start with the downbeat. We'll start by playing the downbeat with the left hand. Now, we're going to play quite consistently. We're going to play the downbeat with an upstroke on my left hand. Now, for those of you who are southpaws, of course, you'll probably want to compensate, but I'm speaking from a right-handed perspective. And you'll notice immediately that this concept of downbeat and backbeat is entirely independent of the idea of downstroke and upstroke. For instance, as I was saying, the downbeat will be played with an upstroke on the left hand. I'm holding the beater quite flat against the scrubboard, and that gives me a kind of a long, rattly sort of a sound. And that is the sound we'll use for the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we'll add the backbeat. The backbeat, in opposition to the downbeat and between each downbeat, we use the right hand. I'm cocking this beater at a little bit of an angle so it kind of digs in, and it makes more of a slapping attack and a shorter attack. It just really runs across about a half a dozen of these ridges on the scrubboard, and I really kind of slam it. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, that's good. Now, a word about the position of the hands, and this will be pretty important later. Notice I'm pointing my wrists out towards you, away from myself. But I'm pointing my fingers back in towards the board and towards myself. In this way, I can control the whole scrubboard just by swiveling my wrists and moving my hands in this arc. This will allow us a lot of economy of motion and conservation of energy, both of which will be very important as we start getting a little more complex and start moving up-tempo a little bit. And as I swing in this arc, I'm going to try now to get a backbeat emphasis, a really strong accent on the backbeat. And I do this by really slamming that backbeat. Let's go back to the downbeat and backbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this backbeat emphasis is characteristic of many different kinds of American folk, blues, Zydeco, Cajun, and pop music. And I can't emphasize enough to you that you really need to accent this. I don't really think it's possible to accent the backbeat too much. So, but you can try, and I think it would be a good idea. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on something that I call running 16th notes on the right hand, and this we will also refer to as our basic Zydeco rhythm. What we're going to do, instead of for each downbeat having one backbeat that will correspond with it, we're going to, for each downbeat, we're going to subdivide the beat on the right hand into 4 notes. So what we're going to do is, instead of just one backbeat slam, for each beat we're going to go down, up, down, up. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Down, up, 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 down, up. Now, we're going to try and keep the direction of the beaters going very consistently. Again, this will keep us from getting tangled up later when we do things quicker and more complicated. Let's now very slowly try the downbeat, nice and solid with the left hand, while we do the running 16th note figure on the right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the backbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now, a couple of things. If you're like the rest of us, there's a little bit of a rhythmic hazard here that I want to warn you about. That is that you will tend to bring this, you'll tend to try unconsciously to bring this downbeat into line with your backbeat emphasis. The backbeat emphasis is still located on the and. As we do this four notes to a beat figure, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. That translates into every other down stroke. You're going to really slam it. And when you do that, you'll tend to try and bring this left hand onto the backbeat instead of the downbeat where it belongs. It would look something like this. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And you're losing your downbeat solidness that way. So what I'd like to do is suggest that you be really vigilant and don't let yourself get away with this sloppiness, because it'll really defeat you later. And a few ways to safeguard against this hazard are, for instance, counting and making sure that you really sound the left hand with each calling out of a number. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And make sure you have that sense of opposition. 1 and, 1 and, down, back, backbeat, downbeat, backbeat, downbeat, backbeat, downbeat, backbeat. So let's practice this for a while. And you'll want to speed it up a little bit. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. What I'd like to suggest now is that you skip ahead, after you've practiced this a little bit, skip ahead to the section marked Practice Session 1 and go all the way through that number, practicing first identifying the downbeat and the backbeat, and then using the downbeat and the backbeat in opposition, and then this basic running 16th note Zydeco rhythm. Go all the way through Practice Session 1, disregarding anything that the guy in there might be saying about things you haven't learned yet, and just run right on through here and meet me right back at Lesson 2, and we'll do something else. All right, that was pretty bon. Ça, c'est pas difficile. It's not very difficult. I want to suggest, though, that as we do this, as we progress into more complicated things, you're going to need to have that basic rhythm down really solid. And so feel free to just back up to the most basic and work your way right on through it again until it really gets ingrained and stuck inside your head really good. Because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to learn 3 different ways to spice up and to jazz up the rhythm on the right hand while we'll continue to keep a really solid downbeat with the left hand. The first way we're going to do this is using something that I call double time, which is a bit of a shorthand name for it, and I call it that because we will be speeding up the pace of the notes on the right hand. But the truth is that we're taking this figure, this running 16th note figure, in which we've subdivided each beat into 4 notes on the right hand, and we're going to go with 6 notes per beat instead. And in order to do this, we're going to practice moving from the basic rhythm, which you just practiced a while ago, to the double time rhythm. And when we make that switch, we're going to actually be switching on the and, that is kind of halfway between each beat. That's where we'll switch from the basic to the double time rhythm. The reason for this is because it helps prevent you from getting mixed up and tangled up in wrong directions of hand movement. And I won't analyze that any further, but I'll just ask you to take my word for it. And here's how we're going to do it. We'll go back to the basic. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then we'll go right into the double time. And 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so that was just to show you what we're aiming for. Let's start with the right hand now, and let's go 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. And let me point out to you also that now the backbeat occurs on the count of 4. And we'll start with the backbeat. 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So really slam that 4 once we get there. Okay, now let's try and put this together with the left hand. We'll do this nice and slow, starting with the basic. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5, etc. The second way we're going to spice up the right hand action is using something I call a double backbeat accent. What we're going to do is, instead of just accenting the 4 in that 6-note figure on the right hand, we're going to really attack the 4 and the 6. Sounds like this. 4, we're starting on the 4 again. 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'll show you how it sounds with the left hand. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now, but getting back to the direction of the beaters, we'll start again on the 4 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. You see that the 4 and 6 that we're accenting are both downward stroke. In between is the 5, which is a de-emphasized upward stroke. So 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's work on this a little bit. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to speed up a little bit. So you want to practice this once again, get it in there real good before you move on to the next thing. Now, another thing about this, this double backbeat, I think, is one of the coolest things about hot Zydeco rhythm. It's, to me, kind of a signature or trademark of some of this kind of material. And it also sometimes carries almost a Caribbean sort of an impact, which to me is not really surprising, because if you think about it, at least culturally or in terms of music and particularly rhythm, you could really think of the state of Louisiana as being some kind of a Caribbean country, because it really has those kind of influences. And as you investigate this 6 notes to the beat figure on your right hand, and you realize that in much the same way that you have emphasized the 4 and the 6, de-emphasized the 5, you can keep your hand going in this pattern, moving to the beat of each of those 6 notes in that figure, but you can lift off for some of them, you can hit extra heavy on some of them, and it can give you a lot of good rhythmic variation depending on what you emphasize and what you don't emphasize. So go ahead and mess with that as you work on the double backbeat. The next thing we're going to try is something I like to call the double skip downbeat. Now, this is something kind of elegant because it gives you something for nothing. For no additional movement in your hands, you get an extra sound. And it can give you some real nice variations here. In order to try this double skip downbeat, it might be a good idea to go ahead and bend out the bottom of your scrubboard a little bit, much as I have done here. Give you kind of a concave surface, at least down towards the bottom. And the skipping motion comes in this manner. As you do your downbeat with the upstroke on your left hand, instead of just one smooth motion, you're going to go for a skip, like this. Now, if this feels a little bit unnatural at first, go ahead and put it down, pick it up, and put it down again. That's how I had to do it, like this, each time. So instead of this, you do this. Eventually it'll smooth out into a skipping motion. You can see how that concave shape helps that a little bit. Now, if we go back to the basic Zydeco rhythm and then add the double skip downbeat, I think you'll see what this is going to do for us, for starters. So back to the basic Zydeco rhythm. 1 E and 2 E and 3. Here comes the double skip downbeat. It's actually harder to do slow than it is fast, so it'll get easier. But what's really happening here is you start out this figure, you start out each beat with upstroke on the left hand, downstroke on the right hand, together. The next sound you hear is the skip on the left hand. The next sound you hear will be the return stroke on the right hand. Practice it slow for a while. then speed up. And then what we'll do afterwards is we'll try experimenting a little bit. Incorporate the double time right hand with the double skip downbeat on the left hand. Try the double backbeat with on the right hand with a double skip left hand. You may find sometimes that your left hand will tend to do, after you do this for a while, you might get more than one skip out of it. It'll become a multiple skip instead of a double skip. And that can do some pretty interesting things too. You might even find that you're doing some kind of skipping rhythms and adding a little skipping note with the right hand sometimes too. But let's see what that double time and double backbeat sort of a feeling sound like with the double skipping downbeat. Here's back to the basic. It's time to move right into practice session 1. Again, this time we're going to go all the way from the beginning, all the way through this last lesson. So we'll get to practice session 1. We'll practice identifying the downbeat and the backbeat. We'll play the downbeat and the backbeat in opposition to each other. We'll work that into the basic Zydeco rhythm. We'll do the double time rhythm, the double backbeat rhythm, and then the double skip downbeat rhythm. Let's find that downbeat now. Listen to the bass and the kick drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's find the backbeat. Listen to the snare. And. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's play the downbeat on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll add the backbeat with the right hand now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do the basic rhythm. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 2. Make sure you've got that opposition between the downbeat and the backbeat. Don't let that downbeat climb onto the backbeat. 1 and down, back, 1, and a 2. Slam that backbeat. 1 We're going to go into some double time now. Back to the basics. 2 and a 3. Back to the double time. Back to the basics. Double skip downbeat. Double skip with double time. Double backbeat. Add the double skip. That was great. In lesson 3, we're going to do something completely different. We're going to mess around with the rhythms on the left hand, which for the most part have been our rock-solid downbeat, our Rock of Gibraltar, our reference that we use to make sense out of everything we were doing, all the tricky stuff with the right hand. In order to do what we're about to do, you need to have that basic Zydeco rhythm really solidly ingrained in your brain and your right hand, so you can do that 16th note, running 16th note rhythm without thinking, because we're going to use, on the left hand this time, some musical strategies known as syncopation and polyrhythms. Syncopation is a marvelous concept, and it involves anticipating, getting to the notes a little bit earlier than the beat, or holding back and taking your time, taking a little bit extra time, and getting there a little bit late. So kind of messing with the expectations of the listener. And it's really quite marvelous strategy. And you can see why, in order to have syncopation, you have to have a metronomic or a solid reference, either implied or in force. And that reference is going to be, once again, our solid 16th note running right hand figure. So that's why we really have to get that one really in there. The polyrhythms idea has to do with taking what really amount to different rhythms and playing them simultaneously and working them against each other and seeing what kind of interplay and interrelationships they have. So you'll see how we're going to be doing both of those things. For the first syncopated left hand rhythm, rather than getting all musical or technical or complicated, I'm just going to refer to a musical riff that probably most of us are familiar with. Remember that old song, On Broadway? They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway, or something like that. But the part that's useful for us is that rhythm riff. Ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, and we'll use that for the left hand. Ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum. So try that a little bit, and then here's how it fits together with that basic rhythm. I'll start with the basic straight, then we'll go into that Broadway rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, dum. In case you're having trouble, and in case this helps any, the way that this left-hand figure fits into the right-hand rhythm is, as before, they both start on the downbeat with an upstroke on the left hand, downstroke on the right hand, and then where this next upstroke on the left hand occurs is on the that is the last upstroke of each beat, of each four-note figure on the right hand, as in 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and When you come up for that last of each beat, that's when the left hand is going to be also attacking for that second beat of the Broadway rhythm on the left hand. The basic 3, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and ba-da-dum, and a 1 and a bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Pick it up a little bit. So let's work on that a little bit before we throw in the next monkey wrench, which is, well, let's refer to another popular tune for the rhythmic handle on this one as well. Remember that Rolling Stones cover of the Buddy Holly song, Not Fade Away? I know our love will not fade away. And it has that great rhythmic motif. A motif that the Stones got from Buddy, who probably got it from Bo Diddley. And Bo Diddley probably picked it up because it's kind of a recurring and standard sort of a motif in various kinds of cool music like New Orleans pop music and jazz and R&B. And it goes something like this. Remember, I'm going to tell you how it's going to be. Dumped, 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 dump, dump. You're going to give your love to me. Dumped, 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 dump, 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 dump. Dump, 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 dump. So this is the rhythm we're going to use on the left hand, while of course keeping our right hand doing our solid running 16th note 4 to a beat figure. Let's just do the left hand first. Bum, 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 bum. Now it's 5 notes per go round, like a 3 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, and a 1, 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 2. Now let's try and incorporate that with the right hand figure. Let's start with the basic again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Here we go. Bum, 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 and bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. A little bit tricky to get started on. Once you get into it, it's not so bad. And you know what it takes. It takes autopilot on the right hand. Now, let's look at this and do just a subtle change around here. For instance, we could take those 5 notes, the 3 and the 2, and we could try and even them out a little bit. And this is where the polyrhythm idea comes in, because what we're really doing when we do this is we're getting kind of 5 notes against 4 notes. It's really 6 notes because there's a rest afterwards when you stop playing, for an instance here, but we'll just call it a 5 against 4. And it comes out something like this. I'll start with the basic. 1 E and a 2 E and 3 E to the fadeaway. Bum, 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 bum. Now I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're kind of smoothing that out into more equal, at least more equal notes on the left hand. Now, what happens if we incorporate the double skip downbeat with this 5 against 4 downbeat left hand? Well, let's try it and see. 1 E and a 2 E to the fadeaway one. Bum, 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 bum. This is rough. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. So the next thing I want to do is take that complicated rhythm and strip it down just a little bit. I'm gonna visualize taking the last 2 notes of that rough fadeaway rhythm before we smoothed it out, using the double skip downbeat, and I'm just going to try and repeat those last 2 notes. So it's ba-da-dump, ba-da-dump, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Then, if we strip it down even further and eliminate a little bit of space and make kind of a continuous thing, we get one of the things I've been kind of working towards and going after is this kind of galloping rhythm. I'll start from the basic again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a to the fadeaway. double skip. Repeat the last two notes. Strip it down even further. Pick it up. So that's that galloping rhythm. Here's the basic. Double skip. 5. Back to the double skip. Galloping rhythm. Now we're going to mix it all up. You have the technology, you have the know-how, you have the hardware to do most of what will be required of you in playing this waltz on the scrubboard. I'll give you a few pointers though. For instance, instead of a downbeat, we're going to use the one beat kind of analogously to the way that we used each downbeat in 4/4 time. That is, we're going to go a nice solid downbeat on the 1. Then we'll use the 2 and the 3 as if they were a backbeat. So of course this translates into upstroke left hand on the 1 and a couple of downstroke crashes on the 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and make it 2 solid downstroke crashing moves on the right hand for each one on the left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's just go ahead and roll right on through this waltz, which is a beautiful Cajun number called Ma Chère Maman Creole, My Sweet Creole Mama. kind of a double time on the right hand now. 1, 2, 3, down, crash, crash, down, crash, crash. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That galloping rhythm. One on the left hand. We know how to bang and crash on a scrubboard now, and we have to try and put it into a musical framework. And we have to be conscious of certain aspects of style. One is tone. We already dealt with that a little bit in the angles that you use your beaters, from a flatter to a more digging in kind of an attack. And then, of course, the concept of, also on the idea of tone, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but if you hold the scrubboard against your body, it makes a certain tone. If you lean your shoulders forward and so that the scrubboard is hanging a little bit more, you'll notice that you can get some different variation in how it rings and how it's muffled. And then as to the idea of complicated versus more minimalist or simplified rhythms, there's a place for both, and I think you'll understand this. For instance, a good example of where you really want to hold back and simplify and be rock solid and supportive would be when somebody is singing. When the singer is singing, he doesn't need a whole lot of really tough competition from a mad scrubboard player. He needs to know where that beat is. He knows that when that beat goes up, it's going to come down in the right place so that he can have the freedom to express himself and to go out on a limb and to take liberties with the rhythm. So you're going to be the metronome and you're going to back off on the volume too. So you want to simplify and turn it down a few notches in volume when somebody's singing. Common courtesy and just musical common sense.